Ah, Wistoria, Wand and Sword, the anime that dares to remind us that not all magic school shows needs a hero with flashy spells, or personality for that matter. Enter Summer 2024, where Wistoria reclaims the fantasy school genre and gives us a protagonist who's somehow both powerful and denser than a rock to it. As the season has wrapped up, we're left begging for a second season. Without one, I'd be lost, because this anime slaps harder than Will slaps down monsters. Sure, it's not rewriting the rulebook, but with visuals, music, and surprisingly complex character arcs, it's undeniably addictive. Yes, you could say it's Black Clover if it had better animation and a more linear storyline. Will Surford is a 6th-year student at regarded Magic Academy, an institution filled with wizards, witches, and magical extravagance. Our guy, though, the school's only honorary muggle. No spells, no magic, but an unshakable desire to stay in the academy anyway. Why? To support his childhood friend, Elfaria, who's become a top-tier mage, or, as they call it, a Magian Vander. Will spends his time surviving on swordplay and monster slaying in the school's dungeon, which he somehow turns into extra credit. Simply put, he's the John Wick, who hasn't lost his wifey, or dog, for that matter yet. First, let's talk about the regarded Magic Academy, and how it sits perfectly in the world of Wistoria. The world building in Wistoria is a refreshing twist on the typical fantasy school setting. Most of the action happens within the academy or in the dungeon, conveniently located below it. There's the city, of course, with a majestic mage's tower, but we don't see any action or important plot points occurring there. Except that one time when Julius shows how skilled he is with his mouth. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. I meant how he's spewing racism against the dwarves. Dang, is that any better than what I said before? Anyways, let's continue. So whatever happens at the academy. The show smartly confines itself to school events and dungeon crawls, where plot progression keeps things interesting without overwhelming viewers with a dozen new locations. In contrast to most fantasy school shows, there's surprisingly little classroom time. Wistoria is more about practical lessons when it comes to demonstrating magic, and I believe that it's a genius move. Take some lessons, Hogwarts. You taught the kids like 3 spells and 8 movies. Now, Wistoria builds up to an epic showdown with the evil Grand Duke, a villain who's more than just your average antagonist. Definitely not in terms of personality, though. He's like every other villain when it comes to that. But we're talking the power level here. This climactic battle isn't just a flashy display, it's a hard-earned payoff for the entire team's training and personal growth. Watching Will use his wand and sword ability for a final devastating blow was one of those moments where you were like, oh, that's why the anime's named Wistoria, Wand and Sword. Each character's evolution plays a key role in this battle. Julius sheds his icy tsundere persona, Scion rallies everyone with his words, and Colette puts her all into helping Will. While some of the other characters get over their feelings of inadequacy and reach new heights of magical power. It's a tapestry of teamwork, and even if you've seen similar setups in other shows, Wistoria does a good job of making it feel genuine. Let's talk character growth, because Wistoria delivers it with great depth. Scion, who starts out as your classic fiery tsundere, transforms into a key ally. Vienna, typically keeping her opinions to himself, motivates the team. While Julius lets go of his brooding pessimism to play his part. Not because I think he's a good guy, probably just because he didn't want to die, but I guess it still counts. Ignore, on the other hand, comes over his own mental weaknesses and superiority over Will for being a muggle. Each character's quirks and motivations shine in the heat of battle, adding a sense of camaraderie that's rare in many fantasy anime. Watching these archetypes evolve from their cliches into characters you genuinely care about feels great, even if they are stereotypes. By the end of this season, you're not just rooting for Will, you're invested in the whole team. This, my friends, is character progression done right. Like any good fantasy series, Wistoria teases its viewers with some juicy mysteries, specifically through Elfie, who gave Will his now iconic battle goggles. Elfie, who remains a powerful force despite being off-screen, influences Will at every step. Those goggles Elfie gave Will, they're more than just a fashion statement. When they break during battle, it's like seeing a little piece of Will's heart shatter, as if they're a constant reminder of Elfie's trust in him. Whereas when it comes to Rusty, the biggest damn mystery is if he's a boy or a girl.
Have a hole or a pole? We just need to clarify.
Some of the other mysteries the show has left us with is the arrival of Finn, who happens to be just like Will when it comes to magic. Yet, he's accompanying the strongest mage in the Wistoria-verse. He low-key resembles Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins, along with the introduction of ominous characters such as the Headless and this assassin. All of this has left many fans on a cliffhanger. Now, let's talk about Will's standout power, the ability to combine wand and sword. It's like watching a magician without magic who still pulls off the ultimate trick. Will absorbs his opponent's magic and turns it against them. It's both flashy and brilliant. And when he unleashes moves like Ignis Whis, where he absorbs a fire spell and turns his sword into a flaming blade, you know he means business. Similar to Asta from Black Clover, who wields anti-magic, Will's lack of inherent magic actually makes him special. He's essentially the kryptonite for his magical foes, with a battle style that lets him improvise in real time. It's hinted that he might have been born without magic on purpose, possibly as part of some grand scheme by some power player. Watching Will turn his lack of magic into an advantage feels fresh. A new twist on the underdog becomes hero trope we know and love. One thing Wistoria doesn't hold back on is production value. Every spell, every clash, every scene is meticulously animated. It's the kind of attention to detail that shows the studio had actual love for this project. Unlike Blue Lock, that quite literally has freaking PowerPoint slides, whether it's the explosion of magic or the final showdown with the Grand Duke, the visuals alone are enough to keep you hooked. The music? Spot on. The soundtrack rises to every occasion. From quiet moments of reflection to grand battles. It's a powerful compliment to the visuals. Together, they turn each fight into a spectacle we don't want to look away from. I'm telling you, maybe you won't find the story that interesting. Maybe you'll forget even what the plot was. But one thing you absolutely won't forget is that Wistoria has great animations. Despite all the action, Wistoria excels in the quieter, more emotional moments. Will's goggles, a gift from Elfie, aren't just a tool. They're a symbol of her belief in him. When they shatter, it's a blow to his confidence, as much as it is a tactical loss. These little touches give Will more depth and show that his strength isn't just about physical prowess. It's tied to the relationships he values. And the teamwork displayed in the fight against the Grand Duke, pure satisfaction. Each character, from Colette with her stone spells to Julius and his ice magic, played an essential role. The message is clear. Will may be strong, but true victory comes from unity. It's a theme that could easily be lost in a lesser show, but here feels impactful and authentic. Now that season 1 had ended, it has left us with plenty of unresolved mysteries and just enough plot points to keep us coming back. The evil Grand Duke may be defeated, but the questions about Will's powers, his connection to Elfie, and the true potential of his wand and sword ability hint at a far grander story. With so much left unexplored, a second season isn't just something to hope for. It feels like a necessity. Here's to Wistoria coming back with even higher stakes, more revelations, and maybe, just maybe, a protagonist who's a little less dense. Until then, Wistoria is a must-watch for anyone who loves fantasy, magic, and seeing an unlikely hero rise above his limits. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to be notified of any latest uploads. That said, see you in the next one.